Assalamu alaikum. So, in the previous lecture, we have discussed on hydropower plant. Then, in the before that, we have discussed on thermal power plant. Now, this will be your last power plant, that is your nuclear power plant. Here, we'll be discussing on the various aspects or various sections, how is it working. Before that, this power plant is quite sensitive regarding the security problems, and you might have heard about your Chernobyl disaster, that is in Russia or Ukraine, you can say that. Then it happened, and there was a great disaster in Japan also. So these thermal power disaster is because of the over or chemical reactors, uncontrolled chemical reactors reactions by the elements. So these are very much sensitive, though it has some advantage regarding the fuel availability, size of the plant quite small. So first we'll be seeing the where it should be located, or the selection of the site. These power plants should be located more near about to the water, or where the water availability will be more, so that the cooling arrangement should be easily available. So the prime focus or prime concerned for these power plant will be on your cooling side. Cooling condensing side will be more concerned. Next is your the disposal of the waste. As you know, the waste, as we know that the uranium, we are using uranium, plutonium, these are your radioactive elements. So these elements must be disposed in in an area where it can't produce radioactivity again. So the disposal area must be is the another section where you need to have a focus or attention. Next, these power plant must be away from the populated areas. As you have heard about your Chernobyl, the disaster, and then it leads to the closure of the towns. And then in Japan also, Fukushima power plant, where it happened that all the city have been abandoned after that. So this these plants are more have your radioactivity, uh, and which pollutes the atmosphere, and then it affects the deformity on your population. The next generation as well as the present generation will fetch some deformity. So this is your nuclear power plant, or specifically if I say, this is your power pressurized water reactor, okay, PWR. So if you find out, quite there are a lot of sections, or there are a lot of similarities between your thermal power plant and your nuclear power plant. So this whole section is your quite similar to your thermal power plant. So we are heating the steam only, and we are heating the water and converting it to steam, and then it runs your turbine. So we won't be discussing more on these turbine, generator, and condenser, as we have already discussed in your thermal power plant. Our main focus will be on this area. So this whole area we will be discussing more. So as you can see here, this is your reactor, okay. Here the reaction occurs. These reactions are of two types, that is your fission and fusion. So we mostly uses fission reaction. We'll be discussing it in the next slide. And then because of the reaction, that heat energy is produced here, and then this heat energy is moved in such a way that it flows through a tube, and this water is poured on the tube. So in a thermal power plant, I have discussed about fire tube boiler, and water tube boiler. So this is one of the example of your fire tube boiler. So here the tube has got your heat energy, and we are pouring water here, and that it gets converted into steam. So we will be in the next slide we will be discussing on your fission, fusion, and then the control rods. As you can see here, these are the control rods, how it controls the vessel. So we'll be again coming back to every part. Let's start. So this is your basic or your fundamental of your nuclear reactor. Here the fission and fusion are the two reactions in which your heat energy is produced. First we will be discussing on fusion. Fusion is the combination of two lighter nuclei and they form a heavier nuclei. So during the process there is a huge amount of energy is produced, or you can say that the difference of the masses occurs, and then the energy is produced, and that energy can be used for your heating your water and converting it to steam. Now next process is your fission. Fission is the breaking or an atom. When an heavier atom is bombarded, then it gets break and into two smaller element or smaller atoms. Okay, so I'm specifically saying fusion is the combination of two nuclei, smaller nuclei, and forming a one nucleus. And in fission I am telling you that it is a breakdown of a heavier atom into two smaller atom. So what happens that when the one of the heavier atom gets breakdown into smaller atoms, there has a loss of weight, or you can say that the loss of weight means whatever the weight or whatever the mass of this heavier atom is, if it is m, if it gets breakdown into two smaller atoms like m1 and m2. So if the sum of m1 and m2 will not be equal to m, so there will be some difference. So that difference is utilized by your one of the greatest formula, and one of the greatest scientists have discovered it, that is your Albert Einstein. He said that E is equal to mc square. So this m is what he said, that there is a difference of weight when a heavier element is getting breaked into two. Okay, so these loss of weight is in fact comes out in the form of radioactivity, and that is called your energy in the form of light. So then that's why he used C as a mc square. So this C is your velocity of light. So he combined these two, and then he told that this is the amount of energy that is going to be produced, and this energy is getting converted to your conversion for your heat exchanger. Okay, where the water is getting converted, water is poured on the tube, as I have previously explained. Okay, so this is the theoretical part. So we have discussed about fission and fusion, and we have discussed about your E is equal to mc square. So these things occurs in your nuclear reactor. So the other elements or other devices which are present in your nuclear reactors are your moderators, control rods, reflector, and reflector core. So we'll be discussing on these things. First we'll be discussing on moderator. So as we know that there will be breakdown, or there will be a combination. Okay, so breakdown, if we need to break down of element or nucleus into smaller nucleus or smaller atoms, we need to bombard it with others. Okay, we need to bombard it, then only it gets break. So the amount of bombardment, if the amount of bombardment is more, the more breakdown or smaller element will be produced and more amount of energy will be there. So if we want to control the pace of bombardment, we use moderator. So moderators are slows the pace of your bombardment, okay, slows the pace of your neutron that bombard the elements, okay. So these specifically there are some elements like graphite are generally used for a moderator. Next is your pressurized water and ordinary water. So these are the different moderators which have uh, which are classified based on the different types of reactors. So I have already told you there are different types of reactors. So based on that, there are different types of moderator. Next comes your control rods. So most of the people used to think that moderators and controls rods are same. No, here moderator specifically controls the flow rate or flow of your bombardment of your neutrons, and control rods, it controls the amount of your neutrons present in the nuclear reactor. So this there are some elements like cadmium and your boron. These elements are your called as absorber, neutron absorber. So the amount of elements that are amount of atoms or neutrons that are present in your nuclear reactor can be absorbed by these elements. So the quantity is controlled by your control rods. The next is your reflector. So this reflector it surrounds the core, okay, where this fission and fusion occurs. So these are your heavy walls, you can say that this is the core and this are your heavy walls, so that the amount of whatever the atom is getting coming out, or the small atoms are coming out, they can go out of the nuclear reactor. So to prevent it going out of the nuclear reactor or the core of the nuclear reactor, this reflector is used, okay. So next is your reflector core. So there this contains a number of fuel rods, okay, made of fissile material. So fuel rods, we are discussing about your these that element that can bombard your atoms. So this is your whole what you can say, the uh, moderator control rods and control the rate. Moderator controls the rate and control rods control the quantity. Now the another important things is your fuel. Which kind of fuel will use for your nuclear reactor? So fuels are uranium, enriched uranium oxide, and then your U-235 and U-238. So these are the elements which are used for your fission and fusion. So overall we have discussed almost all the points, and here next is your discussion on your turbine, generator and condenser. So we have already discussed these things in your um, thermal power plant. So we have discussed about these control rods and fuel this nuclear reactor. This is your heat exchanger. Here the exchange of heat comes, and then the steam is produced, and then the generator gets run, okay. So some of the points we will be discussing, that the heat or the degree Celsius, uh, the temperature at which the fuel is heated is 1690, okay, that is approximately 1700 degrees Celsius. So this nuclear reactor works at a temperature of 1690 degrees Celsius. You must remember this thing. And we have discussed about your fission and fusion. uh, Regarding your fusion and fusion, we have shown you that both it involves your either your linking or either your combination or breakdown. So this fission and fusion also have produces different amount of energy comparatively. Now, overall, if you say the advantage of your nuclear power plant is that it has a smaller size, and therefore it can say you can say that the cost of transportation will be very small. Then your requirement is also small, and so overall you can say that the plant installation cost will be less. Okay, and for your bulk power generation, so a large amount of energy can be produced or large amount of power can be produced. Regarding the disadvantage is that the reactors which we have discussed about your moderators and the control rods, those are the most sensitive parts. Okay, so if they fail to do their work, moderator and control rods, if they are fail to do their work, so that will leads to disaster, as we have already seen in recent past. Only Fukushima power plant we have seen about that. So and the Chernobyl disaster, and there is a series of Chernobyl in I think Hotstar. So you must see that how the disaster happened. Okay, and next the disadvantage is the disposal of the product. It's very difficult. The second most is the degree Celsius. If you see here, the temperature is quite more. High temperature is also there, so that also produces a huge amount of heat energy. So during the disaster of Chernobyl, the plant have been the amount of heat that was produced, that plant was burning for somewhere 15 to 30 days continuously, even after pouring water and even after taking so much of precaution, so much of other uses, pouring water to lower the temperature. So that this is the major disadvantage of these plants. So as that's why lot of people are avoiding, but the superpowers as America, USSR, China, these countries are more focused to use these plant, but the problem is that it's a very sensitive issue. As recently you might heard about the sanctions on Iran. It's all because of the nuclear reactor power plant. Okay, so because Iran is producing uranium, has the availability of uranium there also. So these are some of the points which we need to discuss. I hope we have discussed a lot. So till now we have discussed almost all the three power plant. Next we will be discussing on the parameters. So this is the whole theory or the starting point of all the power plant. Thank you.